Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is between Scarlett and Barcode on Ruins of Endion. In the bottom left side of the map, we have the red Zerg player, it is Scarlett. And in the bottom right side of the map, we have the blue Protoss player, it is Barcode. I believe this was played on the Korean ladder as part of a replay pack. That was posted by Scarlett to Twitter about 2 weeks ago. And this is a game from that pack. Alright, so a ZVP on Ruins of Endion. I believe this is the first ZVP I have cast on this map. I may be mistaken about that, but if I am, I'm sure you'll correct me in the comments. This is Ruins of Endion. It's a new map in the ladder pool. It's a 2-player map, but based on its size, I assume you think it's a 4-player map, but no, you cannot spawn up here or up here, or here, or here. These are the only 2 places you can actually spawn. And yes, this is our natural. Scarlett taking a 15 or 16 hatch. And Barcode going into a 1-gate expand with 1 gas. A very, very standard opening here from our blue Protoss player, who could be anybody. If they're playing as, if they're playing as Barcode, they could be anybody on Earth on that Korean ladder, which is so darn scary indeed. If you are playing as the Zerg here, as Scarlett. Extractor into pool. Barcode just wanted to check that out real quick and see what was happening, just recognizing nothing too insane is happening. I don't know exactly what else Scarlett would do with this, besides make a spawning pool, because at that point, I guess you could go for a 3rd hatch, which is entirely possible. Have to take it up here, though, because this potential 3rd is blocked by a rock. If you don't have any lings or anything, it's impossible to take. So yeah, that's what Barcode's doing, checking to make sure a quick 3rd wasn't there. And you know what? Actually might get the scout off. Oh, it's hiding a probe up there. Some sneaky shenanigans in play. Is there a forge up here? There is a cybernetics core. Yes. Maybe get a pylon? I don't... Are you just scouting, Barcode? That's interesting if you are. I would like to see maybe some cannons, get some attention there, but not going to happen here. Spawning pool is going to pop immediate queen on the way here from Scarlett. Ready, get set, queen. Not actually getting a queen. Nope, there we go. There's one. There's one right there. And as soon as she has enough for another one, I assume we're going to get one right here too. 150. No, actually getting speed instead. So going for a 1 queen opening, getting speed before the first queen on this first hatch. That is interesting. That is an interesting strategy. We'll see if it pays off for Scarlett or not. I love the positioning of this Overlord, seeing exactly what's happening. And that's an Adept. Nothing can stop this guy for quite a while. Checking to see the saturation on this natural base. The Adept is going to move on out. Where did that probe go? That probe just go all the way home? I don't see it. Any probes died yet so far? No, absolutely no units have died yet so far. Huh. I don't know. Anyway, in the background, you can actually hear Zerg music. This is Zerg music from the Brood War soundtrack. I found it on YouTube. I figured I'd give it a cast with this music behind my casting once in a while, and this is one of those times. It just brings back so many memories of playing that campaign, having sunken colonies instead of spine crawlers. So instead of being things that stuck up and stabbed, they go under the ground and then stab up at you from beneath, which has got to be super terrifying if you're a marine or something. Barcode is throwing down these rock towers. If you destroy this one over here destroys 2. I never really understood the logic behind that, but that is definitely what is going to happen. And it'll get there eventually. Adepts and mothership cores are not the best way to take down buildings. So that's going to be a problem. Some lings heading out across the map here. Speed just now kicked in. There aren't really enough to do a ton of damage to Barcode. I assume these are just scouting. It's a double Stargate opening from Barcode, though, so maybe there's not enough here to actually make that happen. Try to get a full surround on the Adept. Does get it. Does trap the Adept. Oh! But losing a ling there. Losing containment. The Adept does die. That's definitely worth it for those lings getting inside the natural base. Forcing all these probes to run away. I think the probes can handle it, though, as you can see them stacking up and then attempting to get shots off. No, losing a probe there too. Photon overcharge comes up, nails one of the lings. I think one of those lings could have gotten actually inside the main base if they wanted to and gotten a nice scout off and actually seen those Stargates. But as it stands, they're being used to do some harassment up here, kill some more of those probes. Have killed 1 so far. Oh, might get a second one if they're paying attention. Run! Can't decide what to do. Scarlett's a little bit undecided. Going to try to knock down these rocks all by their lonesome. 2,000 hit points. Hardened material armor 3. Zerglings doing 5 damage per hit. That's going to take a while. We'll come back to that in about 10 or 15 minutes. Has the Overlord scouted these Stargates? Yes, what a great scout by the Overlord too. Alright, so Stargate has been checked. APM for these guys over 200 each. And right now it's 45 to 42 workers in favor of Scarlett. Okay, so now the Phoenix are out. Barcode has done very, very little scouting, or good scouting, bad harassment on Scarlett so far. So if Barcode needs to make something happen, it's going to be with these Phoenix. 2 are here. 2 more are on the way. Both are being chrono boost. Heading on out, and exactly a Spore Crawler on the way. Spore Evolution Chamber there. 3 queens. So Scarlett, making up for the fact that did not make many queens in the early game, now has 3 at this main base, which is a great number. Spore Crawler getting some shots on off, transferring drones, always in trouble. Queen's actually abandoning this base. I suppose maybe feeling that a single Spore is enough. Barcode, if he finds an angle. Yep, finds an angle, gets in there, does kill a worker. 2 more Phoenix showing up. The 4 queens, 5 queens though. That is a lot of queens. That should be enough to drive these Phoenix away. Losing some workers, their drones definitely taking some losses. Trying to sneak up here. The Overlords immediately burn their way out of there. They don't want to be killed by these Phoenix. They do have Nubatized Carapace. Look at them go. Bouncing back and forth all over the place. Going to lose that Overlord. Going to lose this Queen that is out of the defensive range of the Spore Crawler. Oh, not quite though. But oh, the Queen does live as the Queens come in to defend their friend. And losing a Phoenix there. Continued Phoenix pressure. Double robotics facility follow-up here from Barcode and a Twilight Council along with +1 attack. Muscular augments coming up for Scarlett and missile attacks level 1 on the way here too. Phoenix flying on in, see what danger and what trouble they can cause Scarlett. Again, a single Spore Crawler, not super effective here. Killing once again the drones on the gas, which is such a great move just because again a lot of players will forget to replace the ones on the gas, although Scarlett immediately does so, even with the Phoenix still around. Queens stabbing away once again, trying to kill as many Phoenix as they can. Nope. The Phoenix refused to take another casualty. They're going to fly away, but this third base is now up and established for Barcode. A lot of Hydras coming in here too from our red Zerg player. How is this going to work out for Scarlett? I do not know. I don't know. Hydras can be good. Warp Prism moving on out here too, especially Hydras because Colossus were nerfed. We don't see them very much. Colossus were basically the Hydra destroyer of worlds. If your opponent had up to 2 Colossus in your Zerg, if you went Hydras, they would just melt so darn fast in any direct confrontation. So definitely good to see the Colossus nerf if you're a Zerg player. If you're Protoss, maybe you feel like you got gypped out of something, which I can definitely understand. Going to go ahead and try to take this 4th base by knocking down these rocks again with 2,000 hit points. Phoenix still flying around, just being really annoying, but the Hydras are out in pretty good numbers here too. Do they have any upgrades? They have +1 missile attack, which upgrades their attack to 13. And also getting +1 melee and centrifugal hooks. So it's an interesting composition that Scarlett is going for here. Like a Hydra, Baneling, Ling type attack. Infestation Pit coming up too. Phoenix just hanging around, not being as active as they probably should be, considering that is what Phoenix are supposed to do, is stay active. Double pumping Immortals though. I don't know about Immortals. There aren't many roaches on the ground. That's kind of what they are the best against. Hydras and Lings are both light. And so Immortals doing extra armor versus damage, or extra damage versus armor, doesn't actually do him any favors here for Barcode. The Hydra's going to go to knock down these rocks over here too. Big old warping of Zealots though here in the main base. Nothing to defend against this. The drones just forced to do a full retreat. In production there are 6 Lings. Warp Prism picking on up and getting on out of there, taking shots from the Spore Crawler and pushing on in here is Scarlett. Does not care about losing those workers. Going to move on in. There's not a nexus for them to kill a lot of Banelings here though. Interesting play. Another big warping of Zealots. There are a lot of Queens here, though, with a +1 attack. Drones coming in to fight for their lives, too. Hydra's moving up to this area. Going to try to snipe down a gateway, possibly. Is there enough here for Barcode to hang on? I don't know. Photon Overcharge comes up. Triple Photon Overcharge comes up. The pylons die almost immediately. Banelings crashing in on top of Zealots. Killing a few of them. Pretty good force fields, though. Keeping a lot of these Hydralisks back. And Storm is now out for Barcode 2, so Storm doing an excellent job against these Zerg Swarm units. The Hydras bouncing back and forth, warping in more and more Banelings. There is a Lurker Den on the way, not quite there yet though for Scarlett, and a Hive coming up with 28 Lings. Trying to find a good position in which to attack, and trying to snipe down that Overseer are the Phoenix, not quite able to get it though. Lings and Hydras bouncing up to a different angle. Banelings trying to roll on in and get some of these Zealots, actually doing a great job on the Zealots. The Hydra sniping down Archons here too. Looking great are the Hydras. Their numbers are slowly getting whittled down though. The Phoenix taking shots as they try to get involved. Lings surrounding those Zealots. The Immortals want nothing to do with Lings. Lings are pretty much the counter to them in large numbers. And backing out though, here is Scarlett. 127 to 120 total supply. Warp Prism up here as well. Resources lost. 2 workers killed by Scarlett. 11 workers killed by Barcode. Still no static defense up here. The Queens aren't really necessarily hanging around, waiting for that Warp Prism to cause more trouble, because the Warp Prism could definitely be causing more trouble if it wanted to. Phoenix bouncing here. I don't see any more Phoenix in production for Barcode. Usually, Protoss players will make 5, 6 at the early game and then never really replace them if they die. So it's more of a reason to be comfortable with them as well and be careful with them. Greater Spire on the way, Lurker Den on the way. Someone did make the point in the comments a couple of weeks ago that Zerg melee attack is also good for Broodlords because the Broodlings do get those upgrades as well. It's definitely true, and definitely a reason to get those upgrades early no matter what, going Ultras or Broodlords into the late game. Another warp-in of Zealots. These guys do have the +1 attack. Very easy to slice down these workers. No defense here whatsoever. I'd like to see some mutas come out to chase down this Warp Prism, but nope. The Warp Prism manages to save every single Zealot. The Lings are a little bit late. They might stay here for a while just because those Warp-ins are so darn good and so strong for Barcode. 16 workers now killed for Barcode. 67 to 68 total Harvesters in favor of our Blue Protoss player. Number of bases 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm surprised Scarlett hasn't expanded before now, but is definitely starving for minerals. Has a lot of Lings that she just made. Moving on out with their +1 attack. Going to try to knock down these rocks and try to get some harassment down on this 4th base. Another attack up here, but a lot of Spine Crawlers and Lurkers. That is a scary place to attack. Scarlett has really reinforced that area very well. Lings here trying to get rid of the Zealots and a Corruptor Ball. 2 Corruptors. Going to try to take down this Warp Prism, but it is fast. It is so darn fast. Move speed 4.13. But sticks itself into a corner just a little bit. And here come the Lings getting on inside. There's a lot of Zealots and Photon Overcharge ready to hold that one, though. Woo! Blue Protoss manages to hold that one off. Barcode with the clutch defense in the face of those Lings. But the Zealots might have overextended just a little bit, as there are a lot of Lings here. Yes, a lot of Lings are going to die, but pushing in here again, there are a lot of Storms lifting up the Lurkers. Great play by Barcode. More Storms on top of everything. Feedback's going down on the Queens. Corruptor's trying to attack here too, but there are a lot of Immortals left on the ground. They're actually hitting the Lurkers very, very well. Is there an Observer with this army anymore? There are 2. There are definitely 2 here. Phoenix trying to knock down these Overseers in the air, pushing in, losing an Archon, though, as these Hydras come from out of nowhere to assist with this. I think maybe getting the Zealots in front would be useful. Another Archon ends up dying there too. These Corruptors and Broodlords sending on in their Broodlings to destroy everything on the ground. Again, not much of this can shoot up. The Phoenix can actually hit them, but that is about it. In production, more Dark Templar getting some Void Rays. Interesting choice. Interesting choice from Barcode, getting Void Ray to deal with the Broodlords. They are armored. So what that means is the Prismatic Alignment ability from the Void Ray is enough to actually do a lot of damage to them. We'll see if that works out or not. Another Ling counterattack by Scarlett, trying to sneak on in here, knock down these rocks that were dropped down for defensive purposes. Good scout. Good scout there. Another group of Lings come in. Is this... I don't know what this is. Scarlett's not maxed out. Seems like it might just be losing a lot of resources there doing that one. But the Broodlords coming back to the safety of the Hydras. Broodlord count right now is 6. It's a pretty darn good number. Revelation getting tossed on down by the Oracle. This means that these can be seen by the Protoss army no matter where they are, and by the Protoss player no matter where they are. +2 attack now up on these Lings, doing 7 damage, which greatly increases their effectiveness against rocks. They knock down the rocks and back on out immediately. A DT attack up here. Overseers are getting morphed in. Scarlett is not pulling her drones, though. A lot more dead drones here. 24 drones have been killed. 2 workers killed by Scarlett to this point. And there we go. The DTs will get cleaned out, but they took a lot of workers with them. 65 to 70 workers. Scarlett is now down in that worker count. More Zerg music in the background. It sounds so weird, doesn't it? This is the early game music. I think this started a different soundtrack. +1 air weapons on the way for Blue Protoss. And Adrenal Glands. Did that just get canceled or did that finish for these Lings? Oh, it finished. Ooh, losing the Oracle though. The Hydra is sniping it on down. One last revelation before it dies. Another DT attempted attack comes and gets sniped down by Lings with Overseer support. A great way actually to deal with DTs. Changeling heading out here, giving vision for Scarlett for no reason. And here comes the Broodlord Assault. They are set up to actually lock down that base. Here come the Void Rays, though. The Zealots getting eaten up immediately. Banelings crashing on into the Void Rays, using Prismatic Alignment and just shift-clicking through every one of these Broodlords. Nice storms on the Hydras, making them not factors at all. Every Broodlord is gone, pushing on in. There is a Ling attack up here, though. This base in a lot of trouble for Barcode. Going to push on into this area while the army advantage is down here in the south. Losing an Extractor, losing another Hatchery. I have to imagine these +3 Immortals going to crush through that building pretty darn quick. These Lings are still running amok, though. This single Zealot trying to hold the line, and with Photon Overcharge, actually enough to do it. Surprisingly, and here it is, a Void Ray Immortal attack, dealing a lot of damage there. A Zealot comes up to try to handle this. If he could attack the Hydra instead of this base, probably would have done very effectively too. And the Nexus does fall. The Lings managed to get it there. Both players having lost a single base to this point. 120 to 137 total supply. The Void Rays, the Immortals, the Hydra count though. The perfect counter to exactly what we're seeing here. The Lings pin the Immortals on the inside, and the Hydra is coming to finish them off. Who is going to win this battle? Good stutter step here from Scarlett. Losing an Immortal there too, but no, the Void Rays are not getting targeted at all. Still able to do a lot of damage from the air here. Backing up, bringing the Overlords in too to try to distract some of this auto-targeting. I'm not sure if it's actually going to work here. Void Rays burning down Hydras. I haven't said that in a while at all. 133 to 72 total supply. Everybody that tries to come out here from Scarlett is just getting absolutely massacred. The rallies are not very good either. The Hydra is trying to run on out, and that's it. A GG from Scarlett. Scarlett is defeated, Barcode's victorious, and Scarlett has left the game. Boy, howdy, that was a good one. That was a really good back and forth ZVP. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed casting it, because that was really excellent. Some interesting compositions we haven't seen very much here, like a Hydra Broodlord from Scarlett, basically countered by a Void Ray Immortal count. Whoa, 29 kills on that Immortal, 37 on that Immortal. The Immortals, again, living up to their name, just taking as many Zerg units with them before they die, or if you're these guys, you don't actually die. So that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.